What is going on today, guys? So today I want to talk about the best loadout for the medium build for ranked within the finals. So to start things off, I think the best weapon for the medium build for ranked within the finals is the F-car. The reason being is because the F-car honestly hits the hardest and is the most accurate weapon out of all the options that are given. Overall, the F-car is just the most reliable, and I think will get you the most amount of kills and is just the most effective option there is. The only thing is the F-car is a very hard gun to use. It requires a good player to be able to use it. You have to be an experienced player, and you have to know how to control recoil patterns, because the F-car's recoil, especially after the nerf's done to it, is pretty significant. I'll show you the recoil right now. So as you see, it goes up and then it kind of goes to the right and then goes up and then pulls to the right some more. And you definitely notice it when shooting this gun. If you don't try to control the recoil at all and you don't pull down whatsoever, then it's going to be an extremely difficult weapon to use. However, if you know how to control the recoil, you know how to properly manage it and how to stay accurate and how to hit all your shots, then this gun, it will be amazing and will definitely be your best option. But you have to be able to hit all your shots, because the goal is to be able to one clip your enemies. Now, you get a little bit of leeway when fighting like per se a light. You have a little bit of ammo left. Same with the medium, you have a little bit of leeway. But with a heavy, you quite literally almost have to hit every single bullet. So in order to one clip people, you pretty much have to land all your shots and you have to be extremely accurate. And to be able to do that, you have to be able to control the recoil pattern. But if you're able to do that, then 100% use the F-car. I'd also recommend using the F-car if you are the type of player who, per se, you're playing in a composition of a double medium heavy, right? And you're the type of player who isn't necessarily playing behind your heavy, but is playing around your heavy. So let's say your heavy's fighting, and let's say this is your heavy and it's fighting the enemy right here. Instead of playing behind your heavy and like healing your heavy up and then shooting some shots, healing your heavy up, shooting some shots, you're kind of more over here playing the off angle, so you could take down the enemy while the enemy's focused on your heavy. And that's kind of how you play the F-car. You play the off angles. You're generally more of an aggressive player. You're looking to get into gunfights. You're looking to take those gunfights and win those gunfights. You're looking to find those off angles and take out the enemies. Now, if you're someone who plays more of a support role as a medium, and let's say again you're playing in that double medium heavy composition, and you're the player who likes to stay behind your medium, let the medium kind of tank the damage and deal the damage and do the work within the gunfight, and you're more kind of behind the heavy, you know, healing them up, making sure that they're staying in the fight and, you know, doing a little bit of damage and healing them up some more, doing some more damage. If you're that kind of player, then I would not use the F-car. I would use the second best option, which would be the AKM. I think the AKM is honestly a great gun. It's definitely not the best gun in the game, at least for the medium build. I think it's a close runner-up. And while the F-car definitely hits harder and is more accurate because of the hollow sight on the F-car, the AKM is still really good, and it's a lot easier to control. It doesn't have as bad of a recoil pattern, so it's a lot easier to control, and it's a lot more forgiving because it has 36 bullets. So that's 16 more bullets you have to play around with compared to the F-car. So you could miss a couple shots and still be able to kill the enemy, and you could kind of move from enemy to enemy without having to reload. Like, as you just saw, I could kill 2 lights and a medium with just 1 clip if I'm hitting pretty much all my shots. So the AKM is a great option, I'd say, if you are someone who doesn't necessarily like to or know how to control a really hard recoil pattern like the FCAR has, and you want something that's a little bit more easier to use and something that's more forgiving and something that has more ammo, then 100% use the AKM. Also, as I said, if you have that kind of play style where you like to play behind your heavy and heal your heavy up, switch to your gun, do some damage, heal your heavy up, switch to your gun, do some damage, heal your heavy up, so on and so forth, the AKM is definitely much better to use because you have more ammo to play around with. So you're able to shoot, switch to your healing beam, switch back to your gun, shoot, switch to your healing beam, all without having to reload your gun. Compared to like with the FCAR, you only have 20 rounds. So you can't really do that. You can't shoot, switch to your healing beam, shoot, switch to your healing beam, because you're gonna have to reload a lot quicker. And then that's gonna get you caught in the reload animation, which will ultimately lose you a lot of gunfights because now you're stuck trying to reload and trying to fight someone, and it's just not going to work out for you. So I 100% recommend using either or depending on your play style and your skill level. As for the other options, I wouldn't really touch anything else. These other guns, while they can be fun to use, I'd say within a ranked environment, especially in the higher levels, you shouldn't be touching any of these unless you have a bunch of time playing them and you're crazy good with one of them. Then I wouldn't touch any of these, the FAMAS, the CL40, the Magnum, the Model 1887, or the Riot Shield. I wouldn't go for any of these. I would only stick to the FCAR or the AKM. As for specialization, I'd 150% use the healing beam. The healing beam is the best specialization right now, especially after they removed the recon sense for the medium. It's just so strong. It allows you to keep your teammates in the fight for longer and allow them to get the advantage within the gunfight, as well as allow them to stay up and take multiple gunfights at a time. And let's say if your teammate is, getting low and they go behind a piece of cover, you're able to heal them up and allow them to get back into the fight quicker. And it's just, you could use it just all the time. Like it's literally in every gunfight you take, you could whip this thing out, heal your teammates up, and get them back into the fight. Especially if you're playing a support role. Like if you're the kind of person who'd rather take less gunfights and instead support your team, then the healing beam is 100% the way you want to go. As for the other two options, that being the dematerializer and the guardian turret, they're all right. The dematerializer definitely has its uses. You could, per se, like, you're the last alive, you cannot get wiped or else you'll lose, and there's a full team behind you. You could dematerialize this wall, rematerialize it, and now they can't get through, assuming that there's not windows here. So let's just say for this example that there's not windows here. You dematerialize the wall, rematerialize it, and now they can't get to you and you could safely get away. It's also good for, let's say, like the cash out is above and you know that they're just like stacked up there, they have a bunch of utility and stuff up there. You could just dematerialize where the cash out is, let it drop down to this floor, rematerialize it, and then go ahead and steal it. And now they have to either blow up the floor to get down, or run down the stairs, or find some way down to the level you're on, and by then you pretty much have already stolen the cash out. So the dematerializer can be very, very good, but it's also very situational. I'd say if you're running like a double heavy medium composition, so long as one of your mediums is running the healing beam, then you could definitely run the dematerializer. Same if you're running like a triple medium composition. I could definitely see like two of your mediums running healing beam and then one of them running dematerializer, and it working out. As for the guardian turret, I really wouldn't use it. It can be fun to use, especially like if you're playing casual or lower ranks. It could be, I could see it being somewhat useful, but at higher ranks it's just not that good. It could just get destroyed so easily, and it doesn't do enough damage. Like, maybe if you were running triple medium and all of you were running the turret and all of you had APS turrets and mines and stuff, and you were just absolutely stacked out, then yeah, I could see it being good, but that's not going to help you every single time. It's not going to be good for every single gunfight, or it's not going to have like a crazy amount of use. It's going to be very, very situational, and I just overall really wouldn't touch it unless you're a very organized and planned out team, and you guys are communicating well, and you know the plan, you know how you guys want to like set up. Then maybe I could see it being used. But for the average player, or for most players, I just wouldn't really touch it. Moving on to the gadgets, if you are playing medium, no matter what your play style is as a medium, if you're playing medium, then run the defibrillators. The defibrillators are just so important. They allow you to get your teammate back into the fight quicker, and it could honestly be the difference between your team getting wiped or staying alive. So like, let's say I'm fighting, it's a 1v1 scenario, but I have low health and I know I'll probably lose this fight. Instead of taking the gunfight, I could heal my teammate, get them up, and, you know, kind of do what I can until my teammate gets up, and then my teammate can get up and finish the fight off, right? And there's just so many scenarios like that where healing up your teammate and getting them back into the fight as quick as possible is just so strong and powerful, and is the difference between honestly winning or losing. So if you are playing medium, then use the defibrillators. They're just so good, and honestly the best gadget for the medium builds, and even with the nerf done to it, it's still the best gadget for the medium build, and I would just highly recommend using it. As for your next two gadgets, personally I would run double movement, which just means things that can allow you to get to the high ground and move around the map quicker, which would be either the jump pad or the zip line. And if you're not going to run double movement, then at least run one piece of movement, so either the jump pad or zip line. Personally, I think double movement is the best, especially if you have a heavy on your team, because it can allow you and your heavy to get around the map quicker and get to the high ground. So like if I want to get up there, I kind of only have, you know, 2-3 options. I can either use the ladder, maybe use zip line if it's there, or go up the stairs. But if I have a jump pad, now I can just throw the jump pad down and then easily get up here, get the high ground, and then now that I have the high ground, the enemies down below are kind of screwed because you have the high ground, so you're most likely going to win the gunfight against the enemies down below. And then let's say for like the zip line, let's say I want to get from this rooftop over to there. Normally I could not do that without a zip line. I would have to find some sort of different way onto here, whether that's like, let's say there's a building, like running over to that building, going all the way up the staircase, or having to jump down, put a jump pad down, go up. Instead of doing all that, I could just go use my zip line, which for whatever reason the line is glitched, but you know, there should be a line here, and you could go from one side to the other very quickly, and it's very useful for transporting a vault to the cache out and just getting from point A to point B much quicker. I'd say honestly, if you are in a double medium heavy composition, then at least one of your mediums should be running double movement, and then the other one can use one piece of movement and then something else. And if you're running triple medium, then again, like I'd have one of your mediums running double movement and another medium running one piece of movement and something else, and same with the last medium, run one piece of movement and something else. And those other things can be, at least in my opinion, I would say either the gas grenade, frag grenade, or APS turret. The gas grenade is really good, especially if you have a cache out and it's on the last few seconds and you don't want to get it stolen. You could throw the gas grenade down. I threw that one a little too far, but You could throw the gas grenade down, and if they go to steal it, they most likely won't be able to, because the gas will just tear them apart and kill them and do a bunch of damage, especially with the new buffs to gas. It's just the fact that it does more damage over time, it just destroys enemies and kind of just like rips them apart. So gas is super powerful, as well as the frag grenade. The frag grenade is good for like when getting into a fight. You could throw the frag down, damage an enemy, and then kind of just clean them up with your weapon. It's good for, let's say the enemies are on the second floor, like they're guarding the cash out up there. You could throw a couple frags up there. Same with the gas grenade. You could throw the gas grenade up there as well, and kind of do some damage before you go up there and fight the enemies. And it's just overall a great option. Finally, the last one being the APS turret. While it's more situational, in the times that you are able to use it, it's very good. Let's say you are the team who's on the second floor kind of guarding the cash out, and you don't want nades getting lobbed at you. You could throw the APS turret down, and as soon as a nade comes through, the APS turret is instantly going to break it and save you from getting blown up. It's also very useful if you're playing against like anyone who's great with grenade launchers, whether it's the medium grenade launcher or the heavy grenade launcher. The reason being is because if they're coming at you with the grenade launcher, you could actually throw the APS turret down in front of you, and that way when they're trying to shoot the grenade rounds at you, the grenade rounds will instantly just get broken and can't like hit you at all because of the APS turret, and then you're able just to kill them, you know, very easily without them doing any damage to you. So the APS turret can be very useful. It just kind of all depends on the scenario and what kind of team you're playing against and how much utility they're bringing and, you know, what they're using. As for everything else, I kind of wouldn't really touch anything else. There's times where the explosive mine can be good, it can have some uses. There's times when like the goo grenade can be good, maybe the gas grenade, but really I'd say the best of the best stuff is this right here. The jump pad, zip line, obviously the defibs being the best of the best. APS turret, gas grenade, and frag grenade are all going to be your best options for gadgets. And then everything else I wouldn't really touch. But yeah, I think that is going to be the best stuff for the medium build, at least for ranked within the finals. So to recap, this is kind of all the best stuff here. For specialization, definitely the healing beam. For weapon, either the FCAR or the AKM. For gadgets, 100% run defibs at all times. And then for the next one, always run a piece of movement, whether it's the jump pad or zip line, and or run both. And then for the last one, you could do, again, either the zip line and or APS turret, gas grenade, or frag grenade. And yeah, so I think that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I hope you guys found this video useful, and I hope you were able to learn something that can help you within your ranked matches and allow you to progress and get to the rank that you want. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, then please give the video a like. And if you guys want more content like this, then please subscribe to the channel. But that's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And bye, guys. Have a good one.